My dear students of 11th class, and today we are going to take up transpiration in your botany. As we have been dealing with the transport in the plants, you must remember this, that we are dealing with the transport in the plants, how various substances and different types of the materials, whether in the liquid form or in the solute form, are being carried through the plant system. And now today we are in this regard we are going to discuss one of the important aspects that help in the transport, that is the transpiration. Transpiration is the evaporative loss of water by plants. That is the water lost by the process of evaporation by the plants, mostly by the leaf surfaces. And it occurs mainly through the stomata in the leaves, because the abundance of the stomata are found present on the leaves, and the most of the water loss through the evaporative process takes place through the stomata. And besides the loss of the water vapor in transpiration, there occurs the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the leaf also through pores. They are called as stomata. Using singular it is stoma, and the plural form is stomata, that is many of the stoma or the small pores which are normally present on the dorsal surface of the leaves. Normally stomata open in the daytime and close during the night. The immediate cause of the opening or closing of the stomata is a change in the turgidity of the guard cells. You know that stomata are the pores which are surrounded by two kidney or bean-shaped cells known as the guard cells, and these guard cells are responsible for opening and closing of the stomata. The inner wall of each guard cell towards the pore or stomatal aperture is thick and elastic. When turgidity increases within the two guard cells flanking each stomatal aperture or pore, the thin outer walls bulge out and force the inner walls into a crescent shape. The opening of the stomata is also aided due to the orientation of the microfibrils in the cell walls of the guard cells. As cellulose microfibrils are oriented radially rather than longitudinally, making it easier for the stomata to open, and thus thereby increases its elasticity. And when the guard cells lose turgor due to the water loss or water stress, the elastic inner walls regain their original shape, the guard cells become flaccid, and the stomata closes. And usually the lower surface of the dorsiventral, often dicotyledonous leaf has a greater number of the stomata, while in the isobilateral, often monocotyledonous leaf, there are about equal on both surfaces. Transpiration is affected by several external factors: temperature, light, humidity, and wind speed. Plant factors that affect transpiration include number and distribution of the stomata, percent of the open stomata, water states of the plant, canopy structure, etc. And this is the stomatal aperture surrounded by the two kidney-shaped or bean-shaped guard cells, and in the center lies the stomatal aperture. And these are the microfibrils here, which are arranged radially, made up of cellulose, that improve the elasticity of these cells, guard cells rather. And now the transpiration driven ascent of the xylem sap depends mainly on the following physical properties of water. First one is the cohesion. Mutual attraction between the water molecules is called as the cohesion. Then the adhesion, attraction of the water molecules to the polar surfaces, such as the surface of tertiary elements, and then the surface tension. Water molecules are attracted to each other in the liquid phase more than to water in the gas phase. And these properties give water high tensile strength, that is an ability to resist a pulling force, and a high capillarity, that is the ability to rise in the thin tubes. In plants, capillarity is aided by the small diameter of the tracheary elements, the tracheids and the vessel elements. The process of the photosynthesis requires water. The system of the xylem vessels from the root to the leaf vein can supply the needed water. But what force does a plant use to move water molecules into the leaf parenchyma cells where they are needed? As water evaporates through the stomata, since the thin film of the water over the cells is continuous, it results in pulling of the water molecules by molecule into the leaf from the xylem. Also, because of the lower concentration of the water vapor in the atmosphere as compared to the substomatal cavity and intercellular spaces, water diffuses into the surrounding air. This creates a pull. And measurements reveal that the forces generated by the transpiration can create pressure sufficient to lift a xylem-sized column of water over 130 meters high. Hope you understand this all, and this in general we called as the transpiration pull, that is mainly responsible for the uptake of the water in the tall trees. And thanks, have a nice day.